What does it look like?
You can't peek around it. Hi, it's Tina, and this is my son.
Didi, I failed.
And today we're going to talk about
This book, Animal Farm.
we kind of wrote some questions here
Yes.
to keep us
on track.
Sure. To keep us on track. We read the book The Animal Farm. The Animal Farm is loosely based on the kind of like the end of the Russian Revolution.
Middle
then
of the Russian Revolution to like the beginning of the Cold War.
Kind of.
That's what it seemed like from the video we watched.
Yeah, but very, very condensed Russian Revolution and very, very beginning of the Cold War.
Yes.
I'm not sure if it actually touches the Cold War, but it gets closer to that.
I thought like the Napoleon guy dies at the beginning of the Cold War though.
This book is about a farm where the animals overthrow the farmer.
Mr. Jones.
Correct.
Yes.
Mr. Jones, and then the animals basically take over the farm and start governing themselves, providing for themselves, and...
Yes. They decided not decided, but the pigs made themselves the leaders because the person who originally wanted them, old Major or someone like, is it? His name's Major, at least. So they made the pigs the leaders, government of the animals because old Major, he wanted it to happen how they overthrew Mr. Jones, the farmer. So after old Major died, that's what happened. Napoleon and Snowball, they became like the leaders of the pigs. And then the other pigs, they were eventually, seems like they would become more and higher. And then there's Squealer, who was like a messenger media person.
Squealer would be in charge of like the propaganda to make the people believe that Napoleon was the greatest.
Yeah, and Snowball was the bad guy. Because around the middle of the book, Snowball left, and
Snowball didn't just leave.
Snowball got scared, got ran away by Napoleon's like 9 dogs that were gonna try to kill him or something.
Yeah, basically Napoleon sicked his
and
dogs that he's been raising.
Yes, and then they started killing other animals, stuff like that, and then...
Why did they kill the other animals, though?
Because they said, oh, Snowball told me to do this, or in a dream I had Snowball. Napoleon's like, Snowball's the bad guy, and all that. And if you think anything about Snowball, you will be killed. And then near the beginning of the book, like 4th of the book or something, there was rules that were made as soon as the revolution started, but every time they would go back to check the rules, like, you could not do anything, no harming animals, other animals, no drinking alcohol, no sleeping, no sleeping in beds. Yeah, and later on, when the Napoleon and all the pigs started sleeping in beds, they checked the rules, the pig or something, one of them that could read, it said no sleeping in beds with sheets. That got changed. It used to be no sleeping in beds. And then there was no killing animals. They started killing animals because they were thinking about Snowball, and then the rule got changed to no killing animals without cause. But they were never agreed to change it, and as soon as Napoleon also became leader, the meetings used to be public to where everybody could decide, then they were private between the pigs.
So what he was talking about is at the beginning of the book, right when the farm animals overthrew the farmer, Mr. Jones, they made up these rules that they should live by so they could leave in peace and harmony. Everything was supposed to be great. And they called this the 7 Commandments. Rule number 1, whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy. Rule number 2, whatever goes upon 4 legs or has wings is a friend. No animal shall wear clothes. Rule number 4, no animal shall sleep in a bed. Rule number 5, no animal shall drink alcohol. Rule number 6, no animal shall kill any other animal. Rule number 7, all animals are equal. What happened is after the animals overthrew the farmer, they set up these rules. Everything was basically equal for a good amount of time. All the animals were happy. They felt like they were working for themselves. They were making food. Everything was great, but the pigs, I don't know if they were the smarter or they were just decided themselves the smarter of the group, started adjusting some rules because they led all of the other animals. So they started with all decisions are going to be made and voted on in front of all the other animals. What else did you just talk about?
I talked about the killing and how.
Okay, so all decisions were supposed to be made in front of the animals. They started, I think that was after they scared off Snowball.
Yeah.
Napoleon started having closed door meetings about the decisions that were going to happen for the farm. I think it was after, I don't think they killed their first animal. I think Napoleon was the only one to kill. I don't think Snowball ever killed an animal.
No, Snowball never witnessed, was there at any killing of animals. The first animal was a chicken, where like 2 out of the 5 chickens or something, they started laying their eggs on the roof.
Yeah.
And by page...
Why were they laying their eggs on the roof though?
So they wouldn't be taken away, I
Yeah.
believe? Yeah.
Because Napoleon wanted to sell his eggs, or wanted to
They
sell...
sold the eggs to the farmer so they could help with the windmill, which they stole the idea from Napoleon. And then he accused, Snowball stole the idea from me. When no, Snowball actually read about that idea, and he did it. And by page 107, they broke all 7 commandments, and Snowball started Napoleon started dying because he was drinking alcohol. And I was happy.
That's a jump around roundabout summary of the book.
Yeah, nothing's organized. Except what I did.
No, the book's organized. We're not organized.
Yes.
Okay, so
Now question.
let's get to the questions we are asking ourselves.
Yes.
Why did you want to read the book?
Because you showed me it on Amazon Kindle, I believe. And then you told me what it was about, and it was about the Russian Revolution and how animals took over the farm. Yeah, they took over the farm from their farmer person. Pretty much what we all just summarized at the beginning, where they took over the farm because they didn't like how they were being treated. And I thought it was cool.
Why I wanted to read this book with him was because I read this book in 9th grade. The teacher that introduced this book to me was my 9th grade social studies teacher, and he was one of my favorite teachers, and honestly the only teacher that ever made me interested in social studies. He had a great way of teaching, and I really enjoyed this book when I was in 9th grade. My son here is getting to be that age. He is not that age yet, but pretty close. We were talking about it, and I said, I want to read this book with you. I didn't expect to read it this soon. I expected to read it when you were a little bit older, so we can probably get into the deep topics that this book has. But you wanted to read it now, and I'm just not going to discourage it. So that's why I wanted to read it with you.
And I wanted to read it because you brought it up and it seemed cool.
Okay, the next question we have is, what did you like about the book?
I like how it's about history, but it's still interesting, even though usually to me history isn't interesting.
I like this book again because the teacher that presented it to me, and what he said is true. It is interesting.
Why did you pick this book up on your own? If I just found it and I see this in the library, no, I would not. I would not care about it. If somebody handed it to me and told me a little bit about it, I'd probably pick it up, but it would be hard for me to read it on my own. Yeah.
I wouldn't have picked this book up on my own without my teacher introducing it to me. But I'm glad I read this book, and I did enjoy reading this book.
Would I recommend someone my age to read them by themselves? Read this by themselves? No, unless they like history and they're interested in history. Like, I'm not that interested in history, but like somebody who likes history a little bit, they would probably be interested. It's just, it was a little confusing to me at some parts. So if they would read it by themselves and they like history, they would probably understand it if they knew about history. So yeah. If you know nothing or care about history, probably not. But if you know about history, you understand history and all of that, yes.
I would say this book is a little bit over his age. He's in middle school. It's just to read on their own and enjoy it. Somebody in high school might enjoy it if they are a history buff and if they really enjoy history or politics, because this book is heavy on ideas of politics. So if you're interested in like history, politics, historical politics,
Yeah.
historical politics, then probably a high school interested in that stuff would greatly enjoy this book. If you are a middle schooler and want to read this book with a adult who can read it with you and explain some of the topics and some of the things that are going on, so you could relate it to the actual Russian Revolution and actual things that happen in history, and point out like which character is which person in history and which character is representing something that happened in history. And I was able to do that for him, and so it was easier to understand it because I went through high school and know some of it.
Yeah. Did this book make the Russian Revolution more interesting? It did, because to be honest, I didn't even really know it was a thing until this book.
I was hoping in us reading this book that this would make a time period in history a little bit more interesting and not so boring. Now, when you hear about the Russian Revolution in like a history class, are you going to be a tad bit more interested,
Yes.
or is it just going to be as boring as every other history class?
It would be a little bit more interesting because I've read about it, kind of, and I've watched 2 videos about it.
And now if you're like me, whenever you picture the Russian Revolution, you picture pigs ruling, not
Russia.
the world, Russia. You picture
Comrades.
you picture pigs ruling Russia.
You picture Russian pigs ruling Russia.
So that makes life interesting.
Was it fun to read with each other? Yes, it was.
It was fun. It was fun to read with each other. We had to stop quite a few times so I could explain certain things to him or break down what just happened.
Or I would ask the question, what is this? What is this in the actual Russian Revolution? Most of the time she had an answer. Some of the times neither of us knew.
That's when you go to the internet.
Yes.
What was your favorite part of the book?
My favorite part of the book was near the beginning when they took over the farm. When the farm was now theirs. And then there was a fight, the Battle of the Cowshed, I believe. And Snowball was the leader at the time, so like the most leader, he did call outs or whatever. And he led all the animals into battle. They did lose quite a few, but they did win. And the dog knocked one of them out. Yeah, the dog knocked one of them out, I believe, with his steel shoe. No, it was the dog, right?
Dogs don't have steel shoes, that would be the horse.
Oh, I thought the dog had steel horseshoes on it.
No.
No. Then the horse knocked someone out on accident, or it was killing him. I don't know anymore. I don't think I ever knew. They had a gun. Well, actually, no, it was Mr. Jones who had a gun, but they knocked the gun out of his hands and the horse killed someone. Or knocked out. I don't know.
Killed someone. Killed an animal or killed a person? Like a human?
Person, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was coming at them. So then Snowball, he picked up the gun, he used it as their new flag post, and twice a year they would shoot it for the anniversary of the Battle of the Cowshed and the I forgot the name of it. Russian Revolution.
Okay.
Yeah, the revolution. When they were free from the farm.
Did Napoleon change that?
Yeah, he made it like twice a week or something, or twice a month.
Did he?
Yeah. And one on Napoleon's birthday.
Okay. What did you not like about the book?
I did not like the writing style of the book. It was confusing.
Yeah, the writing style can be a little bit confusing at first. It was written quite a long time ago, and there's a lot of deep theme topics in this. Sometimes it's hard to connect who is who and what is what compared to the Russian Revolution and this book. Overall, once you get into it, it gets easier to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we done?
I think so.
Think so?
So like this thingy, subscribe, and if you want to, you can put notifications on. Every Friday, there's gonna be a new video. So when Mandalorian videos come out, then her videos come out, except her videos come in like the noon hour Pacific Standard Time. 5 p.m. a.m. Pacific, a.m. Oh yeah, you have to schedule it. 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so 5 hours after a new Mandalorian episode comes out, Pacific Standard Time, PST, whatever. Now, when you hit the like button, it turns blue.
You're such a goofball. Okay, if you like this video, hit the like button.
Yeah.
If you want to see more of us, hit the subscribe button. If you have something to say, comment below.
Join our Discord too.
There you
I want
go.
to see more people in there.
What he said.
Yeah.
Also, comment below what book we're gonna read next.
Percy Jackson series. Hopefully.
Percy Jackson.
I want to read the Percy Jackson series with her.
So that is the next series we're gonna tackle. I'm hoping to put out one of these videos about once a month or once every other month, because it does take us a little bit to get through these books, because I read other books and
I play games.
he should be reading books for school and doing schoolwork and all of the other family life, so it takes us a little bit to get through these books. So hopefully once a month or every other month we'll come out with a buddy read together. If there's another book that you want to see us read, comment below what books you think would be good for us to buddy read. Is that it?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm tired. Bye.
Bye. Maybe we should have written down who the...
Yes. Oh, you closed the Wikipedia on your page.
I did.
On your computer. I lost track of thought.
What are the rules?
This one. This top
yeah.
one.
Yeah. At the beginning, if you want to go get a pillow and sit on a pillow, you can do that.
Yeah.
When you hit that, it shakes that.
Okay.
So you can't hit the table.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Huh.
That's what you got?
Yes.
It's broken down from animals in the farm over... Thanks.
Wait. Didn't we already do this?
Kinda.
Except number...
No, you're fine.
I'm like, what?
Did this book make the Russian Revolution more interesting?
Interesting.
Do you want to answer the question?
Yes.
Ask the question. And then now I lost my complete train of thought. Okay.
Comrades, we shall fight our bacon off.
I forgot what I was saying.
Oh wow. This is a long video.
Yeah, but we're gonna edit it down to like 15.
You're gonna edit.
I'm gonna edit?
Yeah.
You're not gonna help me at all?
I don't know how to edit on that editor.
You're not gonna help me at all?
What?